Him. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. Hello, this is Cassidy. Welcome all, to the Bad Game Hall of Fame in our inaugural stream. Oh boy, like those title graphics there. I stayed up unreasonably late last night, getting that Mega Man 1 done for some reason. I had another one in the hole. Maybe we'll save that for a later stream. In the meantime, I reckon that was as fine an intro as any. Let me see here. The song credits should be showing. Give me 2 seconds. This is of course, the Mansion Basement theme from that Resident Evil game. The one on the PlayStation, the director's cut, the one where they decided, hey, we have this perfectly good soundtrack that we composed a while back when we released this game. But you know what we should do? We should totally hire someone to redo the entire soundtrack. Is like this discordant nightmare. And of course, there's this whole story debacle that surrounds that, and how Mamoru Samuragochi is a hack fraud, as the kids would say these days. But that's another story entirely. We're here to play not the original Resident Evil. We're not even here to play the director's cut. We are here to play Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Gamecom. Why? Because, well, that Resident Evil 2 remake's coming out at some point, presumably, hopefully. I'm pretty excited for it. I was actually rewatching the Dark Side Chronicles campaign version of Resident Evil 2. The original RE2 remake. And remembering just how much I enjoy those Resident Evil rail shooters, like, honestly. And, of course, the Tiger Gamecom is very much in my wheelhouse, as this is the Bad Game Hall of Fame, which, for those of you who don't know, is a website that I run where I write about bad video games. And so, we did an article on the Tiger Gamecom as a console a little while ago. I tried to cover, the pre-release, the development of the console, and everything effectively leading up to the launch of the console. I covered a few games from it. I only got a couple paragraphs to go into detail on Resident Evil 2 on the Gamecom, but it's something that's been sticking in my head. It's been on my mind for a while, ever since that article, really. And I reckon it's time we gave it a closer look. This time we really got down to brass tacks with this thing. Now, I'm going to ask you all a question, because the Gamecom is not a technological marvel. It wasn't even more powerful than the Game Boy in many respects. Most notably the sound. So there's no music in this game, and I have 2 playlists ready here. I have 2 playlists ready for me to play during the stream. The first is actual music from the Resident Evil 2 PlayStation release, some of the classic tunes, soundtrack scores, as well as this awful remix album that came out around the time of the game's release. Then I have a soundtrack that is just completely and entirely something different that I could go to. And it's going to be up to you guys. You guys decide which soundtrack you want me to go with. Do you want to go with something that's going to fit the gameplay a little bit, or do you want to just go with whatever's on my musical playlist, whatever I've been listening to, whatever I have in this other playlist here? I'm assuming we'll have fun either way. Alright, I'm seeing mixed results. The wildcard is tempting. What's frustrating is that I have this little Last.fm widget that's supposed to sync up with what I'm currently playing, but it's not. So, how about we get the game started for right now, and I will troubleshoot this shortly. We'll deal with this as we get to it. Let's cut to this stream for now, and I'm just going to play the Resident Evil soundtrack for now, I reckon. This is the Game.com, released by Tiger in 1997. This is the menu for it, and we're going to load up the cartridge here. This emulator is one that has been sort of in existence since late '98, but sort of got abandoned around that same time. So it's fully functional. You can play games on it. You can play every game on it for the most part, except for Jeopardy, I think. But the thing about it is that the audio isn't very accurate at all. The audio, from what I can gather, is time shifted improperly, so it sort of plays back slower than it should. The samples sort of play back slower, and they play at a weird low pitch. So, this is the classic FMV intro, as you all clearly recognize it. And we're gonna get this started, I think. If this game is particularly boring, if we start to get sick of this, I have other games at the ready, but I want to give this a fair shot at least. I want to see if my knowledge of Resident Evil 2 can get me through this Game.com version. And we're just going to start it right up, which I believe I pressed that button. There we go. And it just drops you right in. Like, there's no preamble, there's no character select, there's no cutscene to really establish what the hell is going on here. We're just in this. Of course, we are Leon Scott Kennedy. Of course, we're on the streets of Raccoon City. And of course, zombies are at play. Now, you may notice that this is a fairly accurate sort of, interpretation, let's say, of the original Resident Evil 2 maps and levels and so on and so forth. They actually recreate, I want to say, most of the screens in the game, of course, in this highly compromised format. And of course, this isn't truly a 3D movement, as the case may be. It is sort of 3 vertical planes you can go back and forth between. In this scene, we'd usually see a gun shop owner who would accost us at the door, hold a gun to us, and as either Claire or Leon, you'd be accosted by him, you'd have to say, "Wait, I'm not a human!" And shortly thereafter, zombies would burst through that glass window over there, as is so lovingly rendered, and eat them alive. But there are no NPCs in this version. There's no gun shop owner, there's no Claire, there's no Sherry, there's no Ada, there's no one. Except for Leon and the zombies. And there are a grip of zombies. Oh, and do we have our first crash? Nope, just a minor stutter. I should mention this Game.com emulator, for all its and it appears we lost audio there, so I'm glad someone pointed that out. That is the problem with my precarious streaming setup here, but I believe we should be back at this point. As I was saying, I'm happy to take any questions from the chats, happy to take any questions regarding this game, the original game, the Game.com, or bad games in general, and I'm going to keep an eye on and try to answer as many of those as I can. In the meantime, bear with me as I attempt to mitigate this screen here. So this is the scene where the zombies would bust through the gate there, but they can't really script sequences in this. They can't really do, like, many custom animations. I don't think there's any other than this, combat and walking animations and the like. So you lose the scripted quality. You lose the fact that this was a cinematic game, a sort of cinematic experience, tried to follow a sort of typical horror movie. This is Resident Evil 2 at its most basic interpretation, let's say. It is none of the fluff, pure gameplay, for better or for worse. Is there auto-aim, asked Discord Inc.? No, there is not. There's also no aiming up or down. You sort of just aim in the direction of the enemy, and I guess it does count as auto-aim. It'll usually find its mark. Oh, I should also mention I have some music from the Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse, the movie soundtrack. I thought that would also be fitting enough for this stream. Atlas Shrugged asked, when does Mr. X show up? And that's a very good question. He doesn't. There are a couple of bosses here, but Mr. X is not one of them. That was the sort of baddie that followed you around in the B campaigns. So when you play as the second character in a given campaign playthrough. So in the original game, you would pick a character to start off with. You'd pick either Leon or you'd pick Claire. Then you would finish the campaign as them. Then you would play it again subsequently as the other character who you didn't pick initially. This is a song by The Cure. Can you believe The Cure has a song on the Resident Evil Apocalypse soundtrack? Not to comment too much on the music here, because I know it's not part of the game proper, but they got Robert Smith. They dragged him out of the retirement home to do something for the Resident Evil movie in 2004. What a world, what a world. So, I try to run whenever possible. We're gonna eventually have to take damage in this game. I'm not gonna get through this flawlessly. I'm not a master of this, and in fact, most of this I'm going in blind for. I think I watched a speed run of this iteration of the game some years ago, but it's been a minute since then, and I'm really just relying on my knowledge of Resident Evil 2 proper to try and solve most of this. How popular was Resident Evil 2 compared to other games at the time? It was a million seller. It was instant greatest hits. It got a lot of hype. It got a lot of commercial play. George Romero, he of the Night of the Living Dead, actually directed an ad spot for this that played pretty extensively. I do remember that airing on TV at the time. I would say this was definitely a platform pusher. This was definitely a title they would have used to prop up the Sony PlayStation. And of course, the GameCom version here is, also similar console seller. It's, why so many people bought into the Tiger GameCom. It's why, that's how it managed to move like 1 million plus units, was because people were so interested in this port of... I'm lying through my teeth here. The GameCom only sold about 300,000 units over the course of 2 years. It was a horrible commercial disaster. Hasbro bought Tiger at some point, and one of their first orders of business on acquiring the company is to shut this down. Was to shut down this Tiger division. Which, it does bring up an important note I should make here. Capcom didn't make this. Every game on the Tiger GameCom, save for, I think, a small handful, were all made by a team internal at Tiger, who basically got the rights to, Resident Evil, Sonic the Hedgehog, Duke Nukem 3D, all these licenses, and did their best to sort of approximate those existing titles, sort of reconceptualize them as a handheld title. And I think I described this in my article about the Tiger GameCom. I think I sort of summarized this game as like a Tiger cheap LCD game version of Resident Evil 2. Just in the way it plays, in the way you're like shifting between 3 different planes, lining up shots with zombies, sort of just progressing forward, but not really feeling like you're moving any sort of distance, just because of the way the perspective is. Hey, Magic Mouse. That's my roommate, tuning in, roasting me. And, it's interesting. I just turned around by accident, and I went through that door without opening the door. Let me try that again. So, I open the gate, I turn around, I take a step forward, and I phase through the gate back to the previous area. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see if Brad's underneath the police station. That's something I remember from Resident Evil 2. We should be able to go down these steps. Or not. Alright, I forget that you have to, activate staircases in the same way you would activate a door, so it's sort of face towards it, press a button. I don't think this is Brad. I don't think this is Chickenheart Vickers. I think this is just a generic zombie. I don't think we're going to find a key here to unlock extra costumes. Sadly. What song is this? Thrice, Under a Killing Moon, from Resident Evil Apocalypse. Music inspired by the motion picture, 2004. Original game, this would be a herb renewable resource. Drawing these backgrounds, yeah, I'll tell you this. I'm impressed by this game. Don't get me wrong, this game doesn't feel great to play. We'll get into more of this. I have plenty to talk about with this game, and we have plenty of time to talk about it, I think. But let it be said, the effort that went into this is admirable. Oh, weird perspective here. It's just that it's not great to play. It's just really ill-conceived from the get-go. Like how whenever I get grabbed by a ghoulie there, I gotta mash buttons to get out of their grip. And how I don't think I hit a single one of those shots there. Oh, and now I'm injured, so now you can see this is as fast as you can move when you're slightly injured. Which is to say, you move at about 25% speed. Which is not ideal, so we're going to, whenever we get into as low as Caution, which is the first stage of damage you take, we're going to heal immediately, because I, for one, can't suffer that walk speed at its slowest, and I don't think it would make for very compelling viewing either, so we're just going to spare everyone that. Reloading in the inventory. Yes, Brad was in Resident Evil 3, he played a central role there, but at the same time he also appears in Resident Evil 2 as a sort of Easter egg underneath the Raccoon City Police Department in that sort of underwell we were in, and if you kill him he drops a key that lets you unlock a costume closet so you can get alternate costumes for the characters, the primary players in the campaign. So here we are, RPD. Got the fountain in the center, lovingly detailed. Now, if memory serves, the first thing we should do is get go to a computer over here. Okay, I can't take this song anymore. We're gonna skip this, whatever butt new metal this is. It's just going back and forth between two. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's some real Resident Evil music. Appropriately spooky. This will undoubtedly be an ink ribbon. There are typewriters in this game. It's the classic method of saving. Unfortunately, the saves, there's no battery, really, in the game comm, so you're not really saving to some internal backup. You're basically just doing a temporary, like, you know, save, continue thing. So if you turn the console off, all your progress is moot, even though when you boot the game up, it shows continue. But, you know, at least if you die, you can sort of pick up. And I also have save states, because I have a feeling this game isn't going to play fair with us. And so we can't use the computer here. Let's see what we can do around these parts. Now, usually... do we even need handgun ammo? How much do we have? I think they give us, like, way too much as it is. So let's go ahead. Yeah, let's grab it, just to have it. What's the harm in it? I'm pretty sure we're going to have an item box in a second anyway. It's so finicky about letting me pick it up. There we are. Now, this door here should lead to our police chief, except it's locked in this version, just right off the bat. Usually the police chief would lock it behind you after sort of summating what's going on, the whole fiasco that is this police department. But no, they couldn't do cutscenes in this. They didn't want to do dialogue. They didn't want to do much of anything. So that's just gone. So you're sort of left without any real context or story or clue or direction as to where to go. Basically, if you haven't played the PlayStation version of this game, if you haven't played the original game, you're going to get fucking lost. They don't give you, like, any hints. You have to sort of survive off of knowledge of the real game and just sort of infer what they're trying to recreate here. We're going to put this knife away because it's effectively useless. I'm also going to sort of... should we just take the shotgun straight away? No, I'm going to save this. Who knows how much ammo there is. I don't even know they have all the guns in this. This is a learning experience for me. This is an experience where I'm going to figure out exactly what this game has and what it doesn't. To answer the question of why they came out with this console, why they came out with this game, and to address the comment, I imagine no one was buying the traditional Tiger handhelds anymore, I would say that they were actually continuing to be successful as a budget alternative to Game Boy and whatnot. The fact they would sell for $20 a little handheld versus, you know, $60 for a Game Boy, $40 for a cartridge. They did have a good business model going. It is thought that with some of the advancements they had the idea they could compete with the Game Boy. This was post Sega Game Gear, this was post Atari Lynx, and they realized that the failing of those consoles, of those competitors, was that they were too high-end. Nintendo succeeded because they were doing cheaper consoles. They were doing it, like, effectively, like, you know, with the cheapest technology available. Gunpei Yokoi, genius that he was, engineered the most cost-effective console ever made. What is the better Tiger console? Asked Discord. The R-Zone or the Gamecom? Oh, that's a toughie. I like the R-Zone on sheer balls alone, I think. On sheer just... They went for it. And part of me has to respect that. On the other hand, the Game.com is far more advanced. There is another version. There is another forgotten, really overlooked Tiger thing that also had a version of Resident Evil 2 on it. We'll get to that in time, I promise. But it's something I didn't even find out about until a few days ago. I don't want to get swarmed by zombies here. I have played enough of this to know what the traps are, what the how the zombies will get you. When you fight multiple zombies at once, it is basically spelling disaster unless you back up, get them in a single line, and you can sort of stun them. If they get you from both sides and they start grabbing you, you will not be able to escape. And, oh, I can tell that one in the foreground is still alive because I can't walk past him. Oh, there we go. So I know enough about this game to know that it's very bullshit in its ways and its difficulty. And I'm going to try not to die. I'm going to play very conservatively, very safely, just for the sake of progressing through this. I should also mention that I am recording this for my own personal use, so that I can eventually, you know, GIF this, get an article up on it. There's one more thing I know here. The perspective here is super weird. So I walk forward, and now I'm walking into a wall. I turn right to walk into this corner. Turn around again. Now I'm walking into the door, but if I turn around and walk into the wall, it takes me back down this hallway. There's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of, like, just weird compromises they have to make with this perspective, with this sort of attempt to recreate this 3D environment. So you will lose track of time and space. Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's going to be the door that has... fuck. My memory is already failing me. Well, so much for coaching on this game based on my Resident Evil 2 knowledge alone. There's just a blood pool here. Above me, there is the first liquor. There would be a cutscene for this. Instead, we're just going to walk forward, and there they are! And when it comes to screens like this, the winning move is not to play, not to combat them, not to confront them. And just sort of walk off screen. They won't follow you. That is one of the failings of the way the AI is programmed. This, aside from zombies, enemies can't follow you from screen to screen, like the lickers or dogs. So there's really no point engaging with them or wasting ammo on them. Just sort of move past them. I'm giving advice like anyone here is going to play this game on their own. This is another one of those hallways. This is the first one where I noticed how fucking weird the perspective is. We came through a door, presumably that door on the right there. I'm going to walk forward, and I'm back in this hallway having passed through the door. There's our friend the liquor. This is going to back up. Open the door again. So, I'm guessing that they didn't expect anyone to backtrack at any point between screens. I'm guessing they just sort of assumed that people would always be moving forward. So, I mean, that's my best guess. I'm also gonna have. I also do have a comment about the background design here. But first, let's see if I can get out of this unscathed, because I don't want to take another hit, because I think I'm gonna go into caution, and that will slow things down to a molasses pace. Oh no, that was my mess up. Counted my chickens before they hatched. Okay, I think we're good now. What also sinks is you can't run forward and backwards. When you change vertical planes, it is just at a fixed speed. So you can only run from side to side. Swing your arms, do the Mario, etc. This room, I believe, is important. I think this is where we'll get one of the 2 gems we're going to need, or 2 rubies. Alright, I'll catch you later, Discord. Sorry about your phone. Yes, your phone is more important than the stream. I will tell folk that. Don't feel compelled to sit through this whole thing. I know this is probably one of the most tedious-looking video games you've ever seen, and believe me, it's just as tedious to play. But I would like to talk about Gamecom stuff. I would like to answer any questions folk might have. Because I figure that's the fun part, the engagement part. I know we have to burn this painting. We do have the lighter here. There's no use. I'm just going to assume that equip and use are going to work the same way. Okay, I was expecting it just to work from the inventory. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright. I'm figuring things out. I'm intuiting things. So you do have to use it like it's a weapon. Like, I have it equipped still. So I need to go back to my gun in order to be able to shoot stuff again. So, okay. Alright. That's the way it's going to play. There was a plan to release a Claire campaign as a separate cartridge. Claire, I mentioned that because Claire doesn't start with a lighter. She has to find another way to burn that sort of painting. So they did intend to sell this game twice in 2 different flavors, as the case may be. But sure enough, the Game.com was not the barn burner success they thought it was. Video Game King says, the reason the 3D sort of works here is because you have a fixed perspective to work with. I don't see how they translate Metal Gear Solid's dynamic 3D into something for the Game.com. Yeah, so there was going to be a Metal Gear Solid for the Game.com, which is wild to think about. There is exactly 1 screenshot of it, and it's top-down perspective. I figure if it did come out, it would sort of be very similar to this, and that would drop all the pretenses of story and would just be the gameplay in heavily compromised form. Which, you know, Metal Gear Solid... Best thing about Metal Gear Solid, the original, is just playing it. It has nothing to do with the story. That's not what anyone remembers from it. They remember the gameplay specifically. There's going to be a number of King.com games that got canceled. Oh, okay, well, that's bullshit. So that dude was right at the door the second I passed through. Oh, can I get out of here? Okay. So that was very, very mean. That's a very, very naughty thing for the developers to do. There was literally 1 frame as I passed through that door. And I should mention that there is an input delay because of the frame rate, the whole nature of this console and how it runs and how it performs. So there was really 0 of him touching that. That was necessary damage, which is why I'm going to kill these bad guys, which is why I'm just going to... Oh, come on now. What the... I was mashing the button. Oh, it's gonna be like that, huh? Okay. I see how you play Resident Evil. Play by your own rules. Chewing your own path out. I say chew, carving I meant to say, but I see Sardus posting chew. I swear... I mashed the button that had been working on every previous enemy. Man, I can't believe that fucking just happened. I'm not mad about it. I'm just disappointed. Oh, man. That's some bad design. That's some really bad design right there. Okay, at least we know that as soon as I walk into that room, I'm going to be assailed by a zombie I have no chance of dodging, and the other one is apparently immortal. Or can't be, like, has like a super glue for hands. I'm gonna examine this fountain this time around, because... Okay, sure. Key's right there. Usually you have to solve this whole puzzle and, you know, unlock the key and whatnot. But, no, you just check it and they give you the key straight off. I think that's the spade key or the club key? Let's see if... Yeah, we can just check it. Instead of, like, zooming and looking at it in 3D, it just tells you exactly which key it is, which is handy. Alright. Yeah, do you want me to try the knife? I could try the knife. I could see if this knife is useful in any capacity. I sincerely doubt it. But I'll do it just for fun. Because I'm, you know, we're not going to have another chance at it. And I'm also going to cheat a little. I'm going to save states. Just so we don't have to sit through all that walking. Usually I would try to play these games as legit as possible, but I don't think this game has earned that. I don't think this game has earned the privilege of being played like a real video game. I don't think it's going to play fair, so neither am I. Okay. So, I should explain how to do attacks and stuff. There's a button you press to sort of prime, and from prime mode you can't walk, but you can turn around in every which direction. There's a button to attack. You have to unprime the attack. It's a toggle. In the PS1 game, you hold down R1, I believe, and then press square or X or whatever your control scheme of choice is. Every time I look at Leon's vest from the front, it says it looks like rad. Yes, I would concur. And that is a hell of a combat pose, I will also say. I will also confirm. Okay, I just realized that there's 2 zombies here, so this is going to go poorly no matter what, but let's see if I can bait them. I think you have to be standing at the edge of the screen. Okay, I got grabbed by one of them while I was doing that. And now I'm getting shifted from side to side because they're grabbing me diagonally. Hey, you know what? That worked. We got one of them. His torso is separating in his animation. His entire top part of his body detaches as his legs sort of fall back. I'm gonna have to get a gif of that one when I get the article up. But hey, you know what? We did it! We killed 2 enemies with a knife in Resident Evil Game Com. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's put this thing away and never use it again. Let's just get that. Let's get that pistol re-equipped. Interesting experiment. Would not recommend it though, because I got grabbed by another zombie just as I was doing it, so I have doubts about the viability of that as a weapon. I'm going to put these shotgun shells away for now too, because I want to try to conserve as much. I think, and I could be completely wrong, that the shotgun is going to be exclusively our other weapon of choice in this. An Attack on Finch says, this makes the PlayStation 1 version look amazing. Look, PlayStation 1 version does look amazing. I love me some Jaggies. I love me some, is that 5th gen, 6th gen? I never remember the console generation numbers as they apply to the consoles. I love Jaggies. There's part of me that still wishes games still look like PS1 games, that we never progressed past that point. Who needs realism? We have the key this time. So I can just open this door straight away. Thank you, key. Now let's see what we can get out of this room. I'm trying to look at this object in the back. Okay, this is something I want to mention. This is just a game design thing. I apologize for some game theory here. Let me enable my mouse too while I'm at it. Enable mouse and overlay. Okay. So, background design in games with 8-bit palettes, with 4-color palettes. You see your character model here. You use the darker bits so they stand out against the background, and then when you're doing your background elements, you try to primarily use lighter stuff. That way you can tell what actual objects are and what is just scenery. These items in the back that are darkened, but aren't real items that you can interact with or do anything with, that's just confusing. It's just like, it makes you think you can interact with them when you can't. So that's just a little tip from me to the Tiger team. Sure, they appreciate it. Okay, this is where we get the crank, if it would let me pick it up. See if there's anything we can push around back here. No. Nothing. I'm going to assume these bookcases don't have anything either. I think they would just put the item on the floor if it was something you can interact with or pick up. So far, this is interesting. Again, I would say that I'm impressed by this. I'm impressed by the lengths they went to. I'm impressed with the commitments. It plays like dog shit, like we said. The fact that I'm just going to sidestep this liquor and just run right past him, there's something to be said for how that, you know, how the design of that really works out for the game. But, you know, interesting nonetheless. We got some really intense music. I have this. This is from the Dark Side Chronicles RA2 campaign. I wish my last FM widget was working, but of course something had to go wrong before the stream or during the stream. So that's what we have. At least my voice works. At least the internet hasn't dropped out. I'm not drawing my weapon like I should be. Oh, you know what it is? It unequipped it. Or we didn't have it equipped after I put the knife away. Good save, Cass. That could have been really awkward if I had died again right there. Now, I am paranoid about these zombies. I would like to draw them backwards. I don't think they're going to cooperate. So I'm just going to try to walk past them and probably get, grabbed by the ghoulies. Everyone's favorite. Who made that game again? Was that Rare? What was the survival horror game that... Or not survival horror, but the sort of kiddie horror game that Rare made? I think I'm in the right game there. Oh, no, that's danger. That's no good at all. This herb is not going to heal that. What's this going to get us up to? Oh, okay. Never mind. I guess the most basic herb in the game is a full heal, so I don't know why there's even a delineation between the first aid sprays and the green herbs. So, hey, you know what? Shouldn't be complaining. Shouldn't look the gift horse in the mouth, because it means we can still run. We don't need to drag ourselves across the floor. At least not yet. Nope, yep, we're in caution mode now, so now I've done it. Oh, this is brutal. I don't suppose there's any herbs. Does anyone remember if there were any herbs on the way over that we passed by? No, I know there's not. Did we interact with this cabinet before? Maybe there's a healing item in here. Or maybe it's just scenery that is made to look like it's something I can interact with. Like, I imagine so many of the sceneries and environments in this game are going to be. Oh, sorry, it just hit me that I'm playing this, and I'm actually, like, trying to finish this and complete this. Things I do for love. Turning around, by the way, you know how Resident Evil, gets a lot of flack for tank controls. I always thought they were fine. But just the way you move so sluggishly in this really sort of compounds the issue. Oh, Magic Mouse is called thetiger.com. Yes, this is going to happen. These mistakes will be made. It's like how people will inevitably at some point in life say Bandai Namco, or I said it the right way, I meant to say it as Bamco Nandai, or however people commonly mispronounce, misspell, missay that. Now, I will take issue with you, Avram Q, that this looks about as fun as PS1 Resident Evil's, i.e. not very. I will say that I quite enjoy those PlayStation Resident Evils. But of course, everyone to each their own. I should mention here, for those of you who are not familiar with the website, with the BadGameHallOfFame.com, I am not here to stomp on people's... If people like a game, let them like a game. Statistically, this might be someone's favorite video game. I forgot to equip my pistol again. That's gonna be a recurring thing, isn't it? Okay, let's line this up as best we can. Oh, he just disappeared? Yeah, sure, I'll take it. I hope we're close to a save room. I hope we're close to an item box, because I need to heal, because this walking is interminable. Oh, that's right, our favorite room! Do I have the key for this door? Is this spade key or club key or whatever key? Okay, that's club key. So yes, as I was saying about my bad game policy, if people like a game that I don't, I am not here to stomp on that. Conversely, if people don't like a game that I do, that's their right. Games are opinions. I mean, the games aren't opinions. Game opinions are opinions. It's all subjective. One of my favorite games, Drake of the 99 Dragons. I'm the president of the fan club for that game. I think I'm also the only member, but, it's there. And, someone out there... they load this game up on a daily basis. Someone's perfecting their speedrun of this right now. I think there actually is a speedrun of this. I did say that like a few months ago I did watch a speedrun of this game and forgot everything about it. But I think it's like something like 50 minutes. So if you extrapolate the time from that and try to guesstimate how long it's going to take me to finish this game with none of the knowledge, you get a scary statistic. Now, this should be the item box room underneath the staircase. There should also be a typewriter in here. Not that it matters, because I'm just going to save state. I was not trying to open the door. I was trying to see if that locker was interactive. I should just stop trying to see if background elements are interactive. I should just stop giving this game any credit for that. Nice bookshelves, though. I do like the work on the bookshelf textures here. Not textures, the sprites. You know what I mean. Oh, I just realized there's some ammo hidden in the foreground there behind that table. Very sneaky. Have to be in exactly the pixel-perfect location to pick it up. Have I considered doing an article on the Game Boy Color Resident Evil guide in the future? Ask Shining Finger. Yes, I think it's a good game. I enjoy it. I would do it just for the, just to sort of examine it. I know there's some people, I have read some negative takes on it, but I quite like it, So I'd write it in a defensive. There's games I've written about on the site that have served, the articles have served as defenses of them, where I've talked about how games get a bad rap. E.T. for the Atari 2600. Underrated. Read the article if you need my argument on that. I'm not necessarily looking to rehash that right now. We got Resident Evil 2 to play. What is this weird foreground element? I can't remember what this is in the original game, if anything. Can I interact with this in any way? No, sure. Why would I be able to? How many inventory slots do we have open? Hold on to the herb. Should probably fill that up. The reload in this game doesn't take a lot of time, so it's not the end of the world if I mess up and let a magazine run dry. Now, upstairs I know there's a puzzle. I'm curious to see how they implement the statue puzzle in this game. But first, head down this hallway. Okay. I don't think it matters if I waste handgun ammo. I'll be a bit more conservative when you use the shotgun, but I'm just going to spam this thing because they gave me 200 bullets and... So, the Game.com has a 4-button controller, and this emulator does not have joystick support, so they're all grouped very close together. It's ASZX. So forgive me if I accidentally press a wrong button every now and again. Now that I think about it, there's some decent overlap between this and E.T., both games with fairly sound design principles made to fit systems that absolutely could not do these principles justice. Sure, I could say that. I think E.T. was maybe a better understanding of what the console hardware at hand was by Howard Scott Warshaw. Okay, so the statues, I know it's a pushing puzzle, and I tried walking into it at first. Then I just pressed a button to see what would happen, and I just sort of pulled it inside of me. I sort of just let it phase through me as I dragged it towards me. And let's see what happens with this one. I think that's supposed to be a shot of the statue opening up and revealing the gem, but it doesn't really look that way, and it just teleports me back here. So again, if you don't know what you're doing, if you haven't played the original PlayStation game, one, how are you supposed to figure this out? How are you supposed to know that these statues are actual interactive elements? And two, how are you supposed to know that this is a puzzle that is meant to be solved, that rewards you with one of the gems necessary for progressing the game? And three, like, you don't have any context for what just happened there. For all you know, it's just a weird cutaway, like maybe it fell out of the sky or something, because they don't really make it clear where it's coming from. Okay, there we go. Step back. Wait for them to come to me. Take a sip of my lime Doritos. Doritos is watching. Sponsor the stream, please. Oh, I almost dropped my drink, as a matter of fact. Because I'm an idiot. Oh, thank God, I just got out of that. I was furiously mashing the buttons and it was not working immediately. Oh, man. Whoa. Oh, come on. Have some heart, Resident Evil Gamecom. Whew. Please let me get back up to define when I use this. Oh, thank God. I'm going to save state too, just to be safe. You're going to get a sweet remix right now of one of the sound effects in the game as I do this, thanks to the way this emulator works. Spin that shit one more time, DJ. Almost got killed because of product placement there. Well, you know what? That's a price I'm willing to pay for Doritos, the drink of choice for the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Specifically that orange flavor. You can hit me up with like a truck of that. That'd be much appreciated. And I'm back down the caution again. I could just backtrack. Could go back and get an herb. Especially because these zombies don't want to cooperate. Oh. Let's see if my zombie dodging skills are still... Yeah, there we go. Dude, juked him. I'll just let the zombies live in peace. It's not like anything bad's gonna happen to Raccoon City after this this whole incident. They'll just be allowed to live out their zombie lives in peace, as far as I'm aware. Okay, that's 3 zombies, and one of them is directly on the edge of the screen. gonna mosey on over here. This has gotta be where, like, the bulk of playtime comes in, is just being injured and walking. That's gotta be, like, what they banked on the majority of gameplay time spent. That's how they decided to pad out their length. Curly Brace noting that the game.com had email functionality. It indeed did. Hello. Oh, here's my roommate, there's my cat. Oh, you're gonna get me killed, you fool. That's the point. So, yes, the game.com would in fact let you use email. You would have to plug an Ethernet cable directly into your Gamecom, subscribe to a subscription service that exclusively worked for the Gamecom, I believe. That was very short-lived. And all this is assuming you had an original model of Gamecom, because, of course, they released 2 revisions of the game.com. Because it was so successful the first time, they really needed to release some second editions of it. They didn't sell. And they removed the internet functionality completely in those revisions. So yes, that email was very short-lived. Arnold Rimmer asking, I wonder how good of a port of this game to the Game Boy could have been. To the original Game Boy, not very. To the Game Boy Color, there was the attempt to bring Resident Evil the original to the Game Boy, which was like 90% finished, I think. Very buggy, not super great. But again, highly ambitious. A game that I respect a lot. The effort that went into that. I've played through it before. It's a hell of a lot of fun. I don't think you can die, and I think you're invincible just because it's very like debuggy. Like the bottom of the screen is all this like random coordinate numbers, like X and Y position constantly shifting at all times. But you know, you can progress through a lot of it. And again, they do the same thing where they try to recreate most of the rooms. They try to recreate much of the game. Alright, this is a bookshelf puzzle. This works like the statues. Yeah, I'm gonna assume I just have to walk up to them and tap a button, and Leon will take care of the rest for me. No, this one I'm actually walking into. Try it from the other side, maybe? Am I, like, inside the bookcase right now? There's gotta be, like, a sweet spot for this. There we go. Alright, cool. So now we have both keys. Where did this play? I don't even remember what this is supposed to be in the original PlayStation game where the key comes out of. And it's just such a surreal visual. It's just an abstract, minimalist version of this. So... And now I've completely lost my sense of geography. Oh, nope, sorry. Roommate needs a bottle opener. I put it here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Why did you have the bottle opener in here?
Because I have a second bottle of Doritos. They're sponsoring the show. Wonder if that Game Boy Color Dino Crisis also got far out. I don't think that made it very far. I do have a collection of all the Game.com games that were in development that got canceled, just as an aside. I'll read the original Tiger Gamecom article on the BadGameHallOfFame.com. It's a website on the internets. And eventually I'm going to have to write about this thing, and I'm going to have to rewatch all this video that I'm doing right now. So, you know, you only have to live through this once, you guys. I have to live through this, like, at least, like, 3 or 4 times, I think. This is the hell I've created for myself. Have I mentioned that this movement speed is interminably slow? I'm trying not to complain. I should be positive. I should be optimistic. I should be complimenting what I can here. Again, highly ambitious. They remembered to recreate this room. Let's see if they recreate the dead end at the end of this hallway, or if they actually put something here. Actually, you know what? No, I just realized how slow I'm moving. Let's not check that out. Let's just pretend that they put like a whole new screen on the other side of the room. Let's pretend that there's like full motion video, and Claire's just there waiting for you to give you a high five. Leon's animation sure sums up how he feels about the game.com. Yeah. Just a slow mosey. Okay, let's see. Let's get into the foreground and see if we move any faster here because our sprite's larger. Yeah, I think we'll get across the screen just fine here if we go as close to the front of it as possible. This is caution. This is only 1 tier of damage. So ask me any questions you might have, because this is going to take a minute. I want to drop these 2 gems off at the room. Oh! Sick dodge! Those are skills that put Leon Kennedy in the Special Forces right there. Not so lucky the second time, but 1 out of 2 ain't bad. Oh! Turned around. Well, that's unfortunate. Remix! This is where we saved. On the bright side, we're not damaged anymore. This is brutal, y'all. Stuck in the middle with these 2. This strikes me as rank opportunism. Sure. Yeah, no, not wrong. When I say ambitious, I have a very specific meaning for it. They did the most of what they could. The developers, from what I understand, there haven't been any interviews with them or many details at all about the team at Tiger that was responsible for all the development here. But I get the impression they were very overworked and very limited in what they could do and how much time they had to do it. And I genuinely believe that they did this they could with the meager means at hand. And again, Capcom grabbing that cash the same way the zombies were grabbing Leon. Now here is where I'm going to get a bit conspiratorial here, because another game on the Game.com, another one which I've written at length about, is Sonic Jam on the Game.com, which is, of course, a conversion of Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn, the compilation of Sonic's 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. And Sega allowed that to come to the portable in a very compromised form. It's not... There's an article about it. But in that article, I posit a theory of sorts, which is that developers and publishers who allowed Tiger to try and recreate these games knew exactly what they were getting into. It wasn't so much that they wanted to capitalize on this new portable. I think it was more a matter of they wanted to show just how technologically inferior it was to their own offerings. That's my conspiracy theory. Same way I posit for Super Mario Bros. Special on the NEC PC 8801 and Sharp X1, where Nintendo allowed Hudson to bring Super Mario Bros. To these computers in a very compromised way, knowing full well that it would look and play incredibly inferiorly to the Famicom version that was out at the time. So it's a little bit of market sabotage, as it were, giving them an unenviable task in trying to recreate these games. But of course, that's just a theory. A game theory, if you will. Who is this song? Cold, End of the World acoustic, again from the Resident Evil Apocalypse soundtrack. I think I'm just gonna take this album off. Oh, there's one more song. There is one song I will play from it. Here we go. Whoever can identify this song, I'm so sorry if you just know this by ear. But I think this music is very appropriate for all the blazing fast action on screen at the moment. Now, this door leads us to that upper part. I will admit there is something very funny about watching Leon slowly limp along to this song. I hope that comes through. I hope that is a shared sentiment. City Pop, that is an idea. Will that get me VOD muted? I'm sure Slipknot's gonna get me VOD muted. I don't really care about getting VOD muted so much anyway. I'm just hoping there's an herb up here or something, anything. I think there was a question earlier I forgot to answer, and I apologize. It sort of passed me by. Is there a good Gamecom game? Quizwiz, if you like trivia games. Lights Out, the pack-in. So here's my thing. I think the Tiger Gamecom could have had a chance Did I just drop down without, like... Yeah, that's totally what happened. I sort of walked off the edge. Luckily there's no fall damage, otherwise I'd have broken both my legs and died, I think. The way that this game is fair. Jeopardy is, yes, decent. Again, one of the few games that doesn't work in emulation, sadly. So, I think if Tiger had just marketed this whole gimmick as like a quiz sort of thing, their Quiz Whiz was like a standalone toy line that had done fairly well for itself. I think if they had focused on games like that and just tried to appeal to that market rather than competing directly against the Game Boy, they could have had a shot as like a, not a competitor, but as an alternative. Maybe for parents who didn't want to buy their kids all the bang-bang shoot-'em-up games, but, you know, wanted them to have something to play on the go. Might try to milk some educational value out of it. Has anyone ever seen the Resident Evil 4D movie? I've not seen it in a theater, but yes, I think it's Resident Evil Executor, or Executor, or Executioner. Something to that effect. It was CGI, I do remember it. It's a hell of rats, it's like... It's actually pretty okay. I would love the 4D version of it where like you smell the zombies in the room or the rotten flesh or whatever gimmickry they did. I can't stop talking because I'm going to hear Corey Johnson fucking wailing into my ear as I'm trying to mosey on through this police department. I despise, I won't let this build up inside of me. Corey Taylor, not Corey Johnson. I don't know where I got that from. Don't mind me. I'm not good with names. Where did Johnson come from? What am I thinking of? $5 anyone who knows what the hell I'm talking about half the time. And I realize we need to make a detour to the item box here, because I need to heal. There are some good Neo Geo Pocket color emulators out there. Yes, so RetroArch has a core for that. That seems to work perfectly fine. That seems to work A-okay, by my estimation. I've only played a few games on it, because I just don't really know much about the Neo Geo Pocket color. Or the Neo Geo Pocket, for that matter. Speedrun this game at AGDQ. Oh, you're going to have to pay me more than that. That's going to be a Patreon tier at some point. That's the only way you're getting me to play this game after this, I'll tell you what. I wonder if what keys I can drop. That is the question. You know what? Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I don't think I need either key right now. I'm going to take the shotgun, as you see. I'm going to put both of those away. I'm going to take 2 first aid sprays with me. Then we're going to go back up that ladder. Oh, isn't it so nice to run? Isn't it so nice to have this back? So, hopefully we can just go back up the ladder here to get back to where we were. Is this where it came from? Is it maybe on this side of the screen? So, for those of you who are not familiar with Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation, the way we got down here was a ladder that you lower from the second floor. And then that way you can sort of skip all that stuff we just did, so you can just go back up and down and sort of skip that entire side of the police station. I don't think it dropped a ladder for us. I think we're shit out of luck. Let's just go another path. Let's just go another route. Let's see what happens. Change of scenery. Again, I can't even get mad at it. I'm just disappointed. I think I just walked through a zombie there, which is handy. Oh, and because I was preparing for that other route, I think my inventory is full and I can't even pick up that herb. Man, this game's a real bummer, huh? We've been playing this for an hour. Let me hold an impromptu vote here. Who wants me to change games to something else? Anything else? I have a bunch that I can go to right about now. I don't mind playing this. I've suffered worse. I have certainly suffered worse than this. But, okay, I'm getting a request for Sonic Jam. I can do this. I am going to save state this, though, because I will have to return to this another day. Alright, we're going to change it. I'm going to stop this Resident Evil music because it's driving me crazy. I'll get some other music up in here. Or the next game, Sonic Jam, actually does have a soundtrack, so we can listen to those sweet sounds instead. Alright, so I'm going to toss this screen up. Actually, I'm going to be right here, so I don't even need to put up an intermission screen. Let's see here. I'm going to... Oh, you know what I'll do? I will show you me futzing around with this emulator. I will show what needs to be done in order to... will it actually let me show it? Might not. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, did my whole screen just go black? Interesting. There we are. Right, so close out of this window. And I'm going to reboot the emulator. I'm going to open a disassembly window, which is necessary for actually getting the games to launch through this. And I'm going to load the .bin file. Sonic Jam, 1997, good year. Open up the physical address, load the test kernel, hit run, and Houston, we should have liftoff. Should be seeing something shortly. Hey, there we go. Yeah, cool. Let's see here. Go right to cartridge. You know, I'm sorry, I need to take a moment there to compose myself, because I've written about this game. Never thought I'd have to play it ever again. But here we are. Let's see, I'm going to change the stream subject, or stream category. What's the first Sonic game that shows up when I type Sonic? Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Yeah, close enough. That's more or less what we're playing right now, right? So, guys, what's your favorite Sonic game? We're gonna play it all here. I have all of Sonic 2, 3, and Knuckles memorized, just in the event that this would happen. And of course, these are the whole games. I mean, it's Sonic Jam. It's a compilation. Well, how could they not have the whole games? Wait, hold on. I'm just looking at the back of the box right now, which I have in front of me. Play along with a bit, please. Oh, I dropped it, which means I'm actually looking it up on my own website right now to try and find out what the... There's a quote on the back of the box that I'm trying to get. Boom, boom, boom. Enjoy the music in the meantime. I know this is, you know, the definitive version of the soundtrack. Okay, here we go. Compels players to play classic levels of Sonic 2, 3, and Sonic and Knuckles. So, when they say classic levels, you would think, oh, you know, they're classic games. There's some classic levels from these classic games. So it's more like a best of the best of, if you want to consider 2, 3, and Knuckles a best of. I'd say it's a best of, probably. So what they kind of try to do is they kind of cherry pick a few definitive levels from the games. We're going to play as Tails, by the way, because you can't play Sonic and Tails in duo with each other. Here we are. So, starting off in, what is it? It's not Green Hill Zone, it's Emerald Hill Zone in this game. I should mention, well, maybe we'll play another one as, we'll play one of the other games as Knuckles. Maybe we'll play Sonic and Knuckles as Knuckles. Right now I'm just gonna play Tails. What I love about the music in this game is that whenever you pick up a ring, or do any other sound effect, the music stops, because the Game.com only really has 1 or 2 channel audio, I can't remember which. Despite the fact that they boasted the audio being a major selling point, it's because it can play back samples at a pretty decent rate, but when it comes to actual original compositions, they're all the worst kind of MIDIs you ever heard. Which is why a lot of sound effects are just omitted outright, and why a lot of the Game.com games share the same sound effects library. Tails can fly, this game does have that going for it. Oh, bugger. Oh my god, the momentum is so bad in this. Come on, you can make it, Tails! Oh. I almost fell all the way back. So, Magic Meow is astutely pointing out, or no, I'm sorry, Blab pointing out that this is not the actual Emerald Hill Zone layout. Very astute. Remember how I said that these are sort of, you know, a best-of selection of some of the levels from those original games? That was also a lie. This game is just chock full of lies. Basically, they took the tile sets from the first stages of any of the 3 Sonic games that are included, so this is obviously the same tile set as Emerald Hill Zone from Sonic 2, and they kind of made their own custom levels inspired by the tile sets, inspired by the original levels. Which, you know, that's one way to approach it. That's one way to try and pass this off as a compilation. Oh, look at Tails go. That was blazing fast. Oh. I want to get whatever... Oh, it's just rings. What am I doing? Well, another thing I should mention, there's no power-ups in this. There's no shields. Master of the loop-de-loop there. Can I get a spin dash going? Someone mentioned that this is giving them motion sickness. Yes, I also can concur. This is very hard to look at. It was why I was minorly reticent to play Sonic Jam again for the stream, but you know, I gotta give people what they want. All right, perfect spin dash. We really nailed that one. Let's just fly up here. I would like to beat at least one level. I'd like to at least pass stage 1 of the first stage of Sonic 2 as realized in the Game.com. I don't need to. I don't need to prove anything. I've beaten this game before. There we go. You did it, Tails. Best boy. Oh, we got a new song. Just how I remember it. I wouldn't say Tiger got lazy so much as they were severely constricted by cartridge. I don't know what the fuck just happened there. I mean, evidently I sprung into a bottomless pit. There's a lot of that in this game, and because the screen real estate is so tiny, because there's so little, because your characters are so large, because they're so insistent on trying to recreate the original sprites from the Genesis version of these games, you really can't sort of tell where you're going or what's above or below you, so you're flying blind like half the time. Which I don't think is ideal, personally. Oh, I'm gonna do it again. I can't... Thank God I hit that enemy. I think they stopped me from falling into the pit. I was mashing the jump button, trying to get my tail spin and propelling me up. But other forces intervened and saved me instead. Oh yeah, I should also mention, as Akiba Sasha is pointing out, imagine the immense amount of ghosting on the Game.com screen as you're trying to play this. And yeah, it wasn't a visual tour de force. Now that being said, I would like to remind folk that the Game Boy in its original model was also fucking LCD matrix display, the cheapest available at the time, and arguably had worse ghosting than the Gamecom did in its prime. This was the era of really cheap technology. The way that the Game Boy mitigated that, though, was by smart design, was by contrast, like I was pointing out in Resident Evil 2 on the Gamecom. That you make your character sprites darker, and you make your background elements lighter. Some Game Boy games would use like flickering effects, like maybe these clouds in the background would alternate colors in every frame, or would flash in and out every frame, which on a Game Boy would manifest as a lighter shade because of the ghosting effect you have. But instead, we're on the Game.com, and it is not the Game Boy, and the team that was making games for the Game.com were not Nintendo or any third-party developer associated therewith. And so it's just the same team of, I want to imagine, like 6 or 7 dudes in my head, just churning out all these games, working on them all simultaneously, throwing them all into development at about the same time. Oh, boss fight. Now this is a boss from a different Sonic level, Sonic 2 level. I guess that was it. I was worrying there because we lost all our rings, but I persevered. Let's rev this up as much as we can. Can I just fly through the foreground here? Yeah, perfect. I didn't want to stay down there. I didn't want to bother dealing with the spikes. You all want to see me finish Sonic 2, or should I play as Knuckles? Because I would like to play as Knuckles to demonstrate just another cool gameplay principle here. Another cool design thing. Okay, no, I think that answered my question for me. How do I bring up the pause menu on this thing again? Yes. Yes, I do. Okay, let's pick Sonic 3, because there's nothing I want to demonstrate from that as well. Alright, Knuckles. He's back to kick some tail in Wild Canyon. He does move a little bit faster, I think. It could just be placebo effect, but he seems to be a little bit more lightning on his feet. Now let's get his glide going. Let's see if we can climb some walls here. And go, glide, go! Alright, and glide. Okay, well, that's not working. Let's say, maybe we need to be up against the wall. Let's find a wall here somewhere. Alright, and stick to it. Go, Web, go! Maybe try running into it. I'm being facetious here. You can't glide as Knuckles or stick to walls. Knuckles is effectively useless. He is effectively just a Sonic reskin in this. So this is just like playing like Sonic, basically. So you may be wondering at this point, why even bother with this game? Well, I will tell you, it's because the original plan was not to bring this to the Gamecom. The original plan was to bring Sonic 3D Blast to the Gamecom. That got cancelled, and they sort of had to do this as a make-good so they could take advantage of the license that they had on hand. They couldn't just let it go to waste. We're going to go into the Blue Sphere game, which, amazingly, is present in this. Let's dive right in. I'm sorry, Black Spheres. And I already messed up because... Oh, man. This is as difficult as this is to look at. It's even more difficult to play, and I already messed it up. Oof. I will let you know there are no Chaos Emeralds to collect in this game because none of these campaigns, none of these games within the game are long enough to really warrant. None of them are more than like 3 or 4 stages, so to say. So you basically play like 3 or 4 stages, 3 or 4 stage 1 looking stages, and then you get kicked back to the title screen, and that's it for any of the given games inside of this compilation. So you're maybe getting like 1/32nd, 1 out of 32%. That's not a percent, it's a fraction. You're not getting like even close to 1 game's worth of content out of this. Is what I'm trying to say in not so many words. Okay, I would just like to know what hit me there. Oh, I see, it's a little monkey fella. Can I look down? Yeah, there we go. You're just, Okay, you're just doing whatever you're doing there. I don't really know what the geography is, how is this sort of floating there. I don't think I was supposed to see this. I think those guys are usually up in trees. Could be wrong about... Oh, well, I messed that one up. There's one more thing I would like to see in this, then maybe I'll switch to another GameCom game, or just another game in general. No, never mind, I'm stuck. I have somehow clipped beneath the ground. There we go. Oh, I see, it was a spring. There was a spring there. Okay. I was gonna maybe use that as an excuse to stop playing this there, but no, we will persevere. And I can't jump over this. Okay, yeah, we can still do that, though. I'm just trying to make it to the end of this level, because, you know, there's the animation, the classic animation of that carrier coming by. Oh, wait, no. Well, whatever. You know, I'm just going to try running through this. Whatever happens, happens. Though it sure would be nice if we could get another ring. Increase our chances of survivability a fair bit more. I should also mention this game also lacks any of the shields or power-ups that were present in Sonic 3. Because why would it have those? It's crazy talk. Why would you try to incorporate like the features that differentiate these games in the series from one another? That was a good perspective there. The camera was trying to play catch-up and sort of failing at the prospect. Does anyone have any questions about this? Well, I struggled to make my way to the end of the level here. About this game, about the GameCom in general. That was weird. I was just holding right and it sort of kicked me backwards. Oh, I remember. You have to be like very particular. You have to actually alternate between right and left to get this to work properly. As well as hitting it at the right speed. Nope, that one just resulted in a no-go. Maybe 2 loop-de-loops will do us. And then we're so close to what I want to see. So let's play another game. Let's pick out another GameCom classic. As I close out of that and we say bid farewell to the music there, let's get some Fighters Megamix going. Everyone's favorite fighting game. I do not have the car from Daytona, USA unlocked, unfortunately. Is this actual background music from the game? Yes, that was actual background music from the game. Let's load test kernel again. And that way we can play the game I just loaded into this, which is Solitaire. Oh, we got a good start here. Let's get our aces up. I used to play a lot of solitaire at work. I could read my email. I wish I could. I don't have the modem, unfortunately. I think the internet service is long discontinued for this peripheral for this device. Why is it not letting me... Oh, right, it has to be the specific slot. This is the game that's programmed into the GameCom, obviously, taking some cues from PDAs and sort of office productivity stuff. We're actually not going to delve too deeply into that. Alright, here we go. Sega's registered office, Sega Saturn, Fighting Vipers, so on and so forth. The pianist is going ham on that keyboard right now. Game respect game. Alright. Versus mode. I can't remember. Did the link cable ever come out for this? I know I wrote about it in the article. I'm going to say that it did. I could be wrong about that. I should have just reread my own article going into this. I would have maybe remembered more offhand. But I was also expecting to suffer Resident Evil 2 for like 2 hours plus. So, let's play Jotaro, as I'll call him. That portrait on the far right of this Course B, one of these portraits is not like the others. One of these portraits just doesn't belong. I can't even know. I don't even know which character that is. But I guess we'll find out.
Fight. Ready. Go.
This actually does run a bit smoother than the previous games we've been playing. See, it's a perfectly... they got the 3D fighting element of this all the way down. Cam Burton, don't you worry, the car is in the game. I do not have it unlocked. I don't know how to unlock in the GameCom version, but... I feel like half my attacks aren't working. I'm trying to open up another tasty Doritos beverage. There we go. I'm trying to play one-handed while I drink the smooth orange Doritos. Does anyone know any tech for this? Never mind, I think I got it. I think I'm good.
Ready. Go.
Let's see if I can recreate this brilliant strategy. Oh, that's a shame. I was looking forward to another perfect. Oh, this move seems pretty effective. Okay, maybe not so effective. Danbo, I regret to inform you that Resident Evil 2 on Gamecom we stopped playing because it was insufferable. Maybe we'll return to it at a future date.
Fight. Ready. Go.
Can anyone look up some supers for me? Do I have any like special attacks? Can I summon a stand or? I think only 2 of the buttons actually attack. Maybe these are like blocks? I'm certainly not blocking anything. It looks like I'm doing the animation for a block, but I can't tell because of how beautiful the game looks. Because the effects look so good. That was so close to a perfect.
Ready. Go.
So, you know, I'm bringing this to EVO next year. It's going to be one of those, you know, motel room games, unfortunately. I couldn't get it on the main floor this year. Fingers crossed, we'll get it next year. But I think I've mastered it.
Fight. Ready. Go.
Do you need to see? Do you think you get the idea of this? Can we move on to another game possibly? We can switch consoles. Doesn't have to be Gamecom. I don't mind playing Gamecom. Oh, wait, hold on. Whoa. Not throwing in the towel just yet. We knocked his shirt off. This game just got way hunkier.
Fight. Ready. Go.
Well, I think I've demonstrated that I am the fighter's Megamix.
Fight.
Oh, it's mirror match. But there's no differentiation between our two sprites. There's no one that's darker and one that's lighter. So it is a literal mirror match. Man, I really don't put in much of a fight, huh?
Ready. Go.
I'm just gonna beat my doppelganger real quick. Alright, go out on a high note. Oh, you know, that is right. We do have to see who the character at the end of the set is. I wonder if I actually unlock them as a fighter. I wonder if I unlock anything by beating the game. At least once. And besides, we got this down to a science. Look, we've only been playing this for 3 minutes and 18 seconds, according to the bottom right corner of the screen. It just feels like I've been playing for 30 minutes.
Ready. Go.
Man, you know, Sandman after ECW really fell on some hard times. Had to sort of get into any tournament he could.
Fight.
Oh boy! Hello!
Go.
I'm beating up a kid. This feels slightly wrong. Yeah, so if you were to turn this the game come off, you would lose all progress, Andrew Rimmer. That I feel really bad about knocking this kid out.
Go.
We are in the Wild West town, as recreated in this game, by the way. You can tell because of the cactus in the background and the covered wagon. You see, it's attention to detail like that, which is how you know they really had a lot of time and effort and craft. And soda's so good. Was that it? Was that... We're just kicked back right to the title screen? Okay. And for doing that, we unlocked Janet. Now, here I thought, and this was just naive little old me, I thought we would unlock the character that we beat. I thought we would unlock... Oh my god, there's an actual, like, automatic time thing. It's like an arcade game where it automatically selects stuff for you. That's the Daytona car at the bottom there. Should we do one more set just so we can fight against the car? I think we should.
Fight. Ready. Go.
I meant to play Janet. Oh, he's got a really good infinite going. You see, I figured it out. I can't believe I intuited this. You hold forward and you punch. And it seems to be pretty effective. In fact, let me just do it with one hand while I drink the soda.
Ready.
You don't even need to hold forward. He moves forward when he punches. So I'm just going to sit here and tap the Z button on my keyboard. Or, I'm sorry, the A button.
Fight. Ready. Go.
I wish I had macros for this keyboard. I think I actually do, I just don't know how to do macros.
Fight. Ready.
That is a good Mandarin orange soda. Doritos. You know, this product, I know I'm being paid to promote Doritos on this stream, as I said before, but it really is the only soda I drink at this point. It's the only orange soda that actually tastes like orange. And it's delicious. It's 89 cents a bottle. I think it uses real sugar. Yes, it does, because it is a Mexican variety of soda. Still using the real stuff, the good stuff. Oh, I think I might actually change my strategy. Man, Pi is whooping me here. Well played. Alright, I'm invested now. Man, she is just aggressive. Oh, wait. Nothing gold can stay. All good things must come to an end. Oh. Oh, it's not gonna let me change characters. You can actually get in trouble for saying you're not sponsored by something when you're saying you're sponsored by something when you're not. Well, it's a good thing I'm sponsored by Doritos then, otherwise it would be tragic. You know, I think if I just tap the punch button even faster, I think we'll just I think we'll do just fine. What are some other good fighting games I should play for this stream? I got Masters Fighter, got Fighting Eyes, got all the PlayStation classics. Not for this stream in particular, maybe future streams, maybe I'll do this again, who knows? I'm assuming I'm doing an okay job. I'm assuming you don't all hate me secretly as I'm playing this. I do have Xrd. Is that one Sega Saturn or is that PS1? I don't know. I have it either way. I just don't... I do have Fist as well. I do have Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22. I do not know offhand what... Yeah, there's like a difficulty curve here out of nowhere. It's more like a spike.
Ready, go!
See, he's doing some sort of super move. He's turning white, and he's... I mean, it's not very effective, whatever Akira's doing, but... You know, it's there. And I know Jackie has a gun, and you can literally just shoot the gun off like a million times. Alright, note to self, if I ever write an article about this game, just this gif of Jackie doing this kick. Do I have enough health that I'm going to win the match? Yes, I do. Perfect.
Fight. Ready, go!
We're just doing this to see the car. Are we going to have another mirror match where it's impossible to differentiate between the two characters? God, I hope so. No, it's just Spawn again.
Go!
I just need an opening. I feel like once I get my opening in on this, I can just do my punch strategy. I think it's just about who attacks first. Yeah, there we go. Maybe there's a little more to this than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe there's like slightly more, not much more, just a little bit more credits. Whoa! That went by super fast. I think I might have a new strategy, guys. Alright, take note. No, no. Nope, yep. Punch him in the junk! Who'da thunk it? And here we go. This is what we all came here for, folks. Hornet, here I come. Oh, it's every bit as goofy as I hoped.
Ready, go!
Yeah, its super move is just turning into a car and running my ass over. I don't really have an answer for that in terms of defense. I think I may have met my match in the Daytona car, unfortunately. Let's say we load another Game.com classic while we're here. As long as I still got all this up. Could do... I would do Mortal Kombat, but I don't want to just jump right into another fighting game. I think I know what I want to play. I hope you don't mind indulging me as I load up some true classics here. Some arcade classics, that is. There we are. So I feel like this will make a pretty good metric for, you know, the capabilities of the Game.com as we look at these classic games and see, you know, how they function, how they sort of work. Sorry, this arcade's a little loud. Should I lower the volume? Is it fine? I'm sort of half blind when it comes to how my levels are with this. I'm used to having a monitor, but I couldn't get a monitor set up so I can hear my audio playback. Let's see here. Defender, Joust, Defender 2, Sinistar, Robotron. Let's give Robotron a shot. Oh, you know what? Let's just leave it all on default. I think that'll be fine. Oh, I should mention, this is a touchscreen console. I always forget to use a touchscreen on this because so many games don't require it, but... Holy shit, that move speed. Oh, okay, so the different buttons fire in different directions. I should remember this. So I gotta remember which buttons on my keyboard correspond to the directions I'm shooting in. Or I can just do this. You know, whichever works. Hey, got it! Alright, the big box guys you can't kill, right? I just go flying. I just fly right into the enemies the second I start moving in any direction. Oh, and those boxes also kill you. You know, I'll admit, I never really was good at Robotron, but I feel like the odds were slightly stacked against me in this specific version, in that this console isn't super great. Alright, let's get some Sinistar here. The classic Sinistar title screen. There's just something about the whelming nature of that music, you know? There's a title screen that came up that really tickled my fancy there. Whoa! This track rips! So there is a radar on the top corner, on the top of the screen. I can't make heads or tails of it, though. I imagine on actual hardware, this would be even better. I just want to see if Sinistar makes threats at me. If we can get that far, I'll be happy. I can just hold it down for auto fire, that's good. I don't know if I can outrun these enemies. I don't know if I really have any method of, like, dealing with them. Can I try, like, steering around them? Cause, like, can I juke them or something? Or... Okay, I think I got the hang of this. I only have like one life right now, but we're gonna make the most of it. Come hell or high water, we're gonna face against Sinistar. I need to find more asteroids so I can get some more bombs so I can have a chance against Sinistar. Even though, let's be honest here, I don't have a chance against Sinistar. Oof. Aww. Let's give that one more shot. Give myself the best possible opportunity. How many lives can I... Okay, 15. I was gonna say, where does it stop? there we go. If this doesn't get us to see Sinistar, I don't know what will. I have so many lives, the UI and the top of the screen can't even show them all. Y'all digging the sound effects on this stream? Y'all like love this arcade sound? This is just like being in like a Chuck E. Cheese. Or Chuck E. Cheese doesn't have real arcade games. Haven't for a while at least. It's like being in Dave and Buster's. It's like being in Salem, Oregon's own The Coin Jam. It's a good barcade. It's like being in a Chuck E. Cheese while wearing earplugs. I might kingdom for a therapy of punch right now. We're just trying to get to the bottom of whether Sinistar will speak to us or not. And then I can escape this hell that I've created for myself. Oh, he's so close. Only 5 pixels. You can do it, Sinistar, buddy. I believe in you. Alright, can we get a betting pool going here for whether Sinistar will talk or not? Can we get, like, some odds on the table? What are you saying, like 20 to 1? On him talking? I'm getting better at this for whatever the hell that's worth. Oh, there we go. That's our answer, everybody. Now let's confront him. Sinistar, honey, where are you? I would use the radar, but it's functionally useless. There we go. Can I escape your gravitational pull? No, not quite. Do I have bombs? I think I have enough bombs. I have 10 Cinnabombs, even. I prefer 10 Cinnabuns, though, if you know what I mean. Please sponsor the show, Cinnabon. If there's any conflicts with Doritos, though, that I'm not privy to, we will have to renegotiate. You know, we're gonna get those bucks rolling in. Where are you at? I ain't no coward, I ain't running. I'm looking for a fight. He should really be coming to me. I shouldn't have to be searching him out. Oh, you know what? I think that one slightly darker block on the radar, I'm thinking that might be yes! Again, on an actual game comm, this would be impossible to decipher. Yes, we know Sinistar. That's the name of the game. Alright, I'm gonna give it one more life. If we can't defeat Sinistar on this run, then I guess the galaxy is forever doomed. Come on. Oh, I think I used up all my bombs there. He looks so happy, though. I don't want to kill him. Look at him. He's living his best life right now, and You know, I think that's an inspiring message in these troubling times, that, you know, if Sinistar can make it, so can we. Shine on, you crazy diamonds. Okay. Let's cover one more Gamecom game. Then we're going to hit that 2-hour mark, and I think that's probably long enough for a stream. Yeah, okay. Let's get some, you know, we covered a lot of different genres of game here. We have survival horror. We had arcade classics. Had platforming. But we haven't covered my favorite genre yet. And that, of course, is the first-person shooter. And you may be thinking to yourselves, how the hell could you make a first-person shooter for the Gamecom? I'm about to show you. I was waiting for that sweet, sweet tunage. Come on, Megadeth, serenade me. Here we go. Alright, now I should warn you that this game is impossible to control. And it actually does use a touchscreen, I think. Wait, no, it doesn't. That's the tricky thing. Is you think you use a touchscreen for shooting, but not so much.
Damn. That's the second time.
Duke cutting himself off there. Okay, so basically, depending on which button you press, you shoot in a different direction. So I'm pressing S and I'm shooting slightly to the right. And also you can't turn around, you can only strafe and move forward and backwards. Now I do have to remind everybody, this is not exactly how the Game.com would have sounded. The audio playback here is slightly slower than on the original, but it wasn't great. It was never great. I do love the sidestep sound effect though. Did we pick up the shotgun? No, we just have Mighty Foot and pistol at the moment. I'd like to pick up the shotgun. Nosferatu! Now, if I remember correctly, I think you actually have to use a touchscreen to open doors? Maybe not? What exactly do I need to do here? There's only 4 buttons on this game, on this controller. There's only so much I can do here. Let's switch to the pistol so I don't waste all my ammo. I can sidestep. Is there a key? Is there something I'm missing here? Or did they lock down the cinema? Oh, I love that. That sound effect. You heard that whoop, whoop, that bubble sound? That is just one of the stock sounds in the Gamecom that you will hear pop up in like basically every other game. It's also the sound you hear when you select any menu options on the interface. Is there something I'm neglecting here? Oop. I think I may have accidentally reset the console. Well, I pressed every button you could press. And eventually there was no more you could press. That shouldn't have halted my progress. There's, I feel like I did everything I could there. Alright, speedrun time. Let's do it. Let's get back to where we were. In record time.
Damn. That's the second time those alien bastards shot up my ride.
This time we made sure we heard the full voice clip. Oh, is that a shotgun? Don't mind if I do. Alright, let's give this thing a whirl. Maybe like these side doors? No? If anyone knows the secret to this game, you know, shout me, send me a message. Do as you will, not as you won't. It's up in D. Oh, thank you, video game. Gooey Heat, you are. Hail to the king. As Duke would say, you are a hero. Damn. Shotgun seems pretty effective. I know there's at least a couple more guns in this. I would still like to know what guns appear in Resident Evil 2. The fact that I will have to maybe privately examine that at some point, so I can discover the secrets. I can't interact with the cola machine, sadly. Wait, hold on. Are there branching paths here? Can I go through here? No, I think that's supposed to be the theater. Oh, maybe I can, because there's a door here. Ooh, that's a good turning animation. That's one way to solve for not being able to move in any other direction besides forward, backwards, and sideways. For not being able to turn around. As far as the flashing elements of the UI, as Discord Nick has pointed out, I imagine there is probably something tied to the sprite refreshing the sprite limit of the console. How much they could show on screen simultaneously. Because I do seem to recall there being some flashing elements. I could be completely wrong about that. I have handled a GameCom before. I have played actual hardware. I just don't have super recollection of it. It's been a minute. One of these days I will get a GameCom again and add it to the Bad Game Hall of Fame Museum. It will become part of my private collection. Even if this is an accurate emulation, I like Drunkstone Duke. I mean, it's canon. And I think that trumps everything. Okay, now we're in the theater room. Now we are free to take a seat. Whoa! That came out of nowhere.
I needed that.
Hey, we did it. We actually cleared a level of Duke Nukem 3D. Total frags. 19. This is something. From what I do know about this game, it never ends. It just starts looping at a certain point. Like, there's 3, quote-unquote, you know, missions that consist of different sets of levels. And as you proceed through them, as you clear each of them, you progress to the next one, and then the cycle just begins again. This is the Duke Nukem Endless Runner, if you will.
Bitchin'.
Yes, Duke. I agree. I'd like to get at least one more gun. I think that would be a good stopping point here, even as we approach the 2-hour mark. This is literally just walking forward and shooting. I'm literally just holding up, and then I'm tapping a button when I see enemies pop up. I think that actually was an alternating path there. I had to choose left or right. I chose left. Now, I will also tell you, there was supposed to be a Turok game that was supposed to come to GameCom. And from the one screenshot that exists of it, I think it would have played very similarly to this, if not identically. If the two weren't just like straight up like sprite swaps of one another. It would have been sort of just a very similar vein. Because again, same team making all these games in short order, for no money, for an audience of no one. That being said, This isn't the worst thing I've played. It's not great. I think it's sort of barely functional as a first-person shooter. But it's something. I can respect it, again. I can respect the effort that went into this craft.
I needed that.
I think if the rest of this game is just going to be... I mean, I know the rest of the game is just going to be this. I know there's not going to be any puzzles or, you know, like, hunt the key sort of missions. It's because of the way this linearity works, but... I would like to at least see a grenade launcher. You know, I'm not even a fan of Duke on the best of days. Level design never really cut it for me in any of those build engine games. That's a rant for another day. But, level design here just makes the original game look like a masterpiece of design, of course. Do I think John St. John voiced Duke here? I think they used audio samples from the original game. I don't think they asked him to re-record anything. I think they just used existing assets. I think these sprites, like the ones in Sonic Jam, were sprites, you know, were given access to the asset libraries, to the graphical assets of these existing games by the publishers, by the license holders, and it was their job to downsample them and, you know, scale them down, recolorize, do what they needed to do to get them to fit on the game com, to fit this format. So I imagine it was the same thing for audio samples. I imagine that these are the original samples. I imagine the playback in this emulator isn't ideal. I know they're slightly better, not super great, but they are slightly better on real hardware. And yes, Shadow Warrior, yes, I would say is more repulsive than Duke Nukem 3D. I don't know how much more I can take of this, guys. I think my quest for the grenade launcher might have to be cut short for my own sanity here. One more thing I have to test. Can I backstep? And yes, I can turn around in reverse. Perfect. That answers my question. Oh, hey, new enemy type.
Damn, I'm good.
So there are at least 3 enemy types in here. Oh, you know, I just have a good future stream. I still have a good next episode, Genesis Duke 3D, the tech toy version. Now I have to come back. Now we have to do more of this in the future. Ah, they got you. Well, on that note... I think this is gonna do it for this inaugural stream. It maybe didn't go exactly according to plan. We maybe didn't focus on the one game we intended to focus on the whole time. We maybe sort of changed the subject at a certain point. But I think this is as good a note as I need to go out on. Oh, well. I do have an epilogue card queued up here, so let me get my music going. This made more sense when this was a dedicated Resident Evil 2 stream. But, that is all, folks, for this inaugural Tiger.com edition of the Bad Game Hall of Fame. I said Tiger.com! I messed it up! I the Tiger Game.com. I got so far. I think I didn't slip up and call it the Tiger.com throughout the entire stream until the last possible second. Well, better luck next time to me. So, yes, this was the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We have a website. It's badgamehalloffame.com. If you want to check it out, we have articles on the Tiger Game.com, as well as Sonic Jam specifically, as well as a bunch of other games that are of suboptimal quality that have not maybe gotten the most generous reception in the world. We'll see if we come back and do this streaming thing again. I have plenty of games I would like to show off on the stream. I think we've covered most of the Game.com stuff that we would need to cover. Well, I can cover a wide range of stuff. It just felt like a good sort of theme. It felt, you know, sort of good to go from game to game on the same console. Maybe that'll be how we do it in the future. Or I could just pick like a franchise. I think it's good to have themes. I think it's good to have like a specific like subject matter planned out and to try and do stuff around that, even if you don't stick to the original plan. And you know, my sort of approach to these things, not to keep you for too much longer here, but I do hope you enjoyed the stream. I do hope you got a kick out of it. I do hope you felt it was worth sticking around for. I do promise that if we come back, I will try to make things in the future more compelling, more interesting, try to get more viewer engagement going on. Oh, you know what? Because we didn't play Resident Evil 2, I forgot to mention there's another Resident Evil 2 by Tiger for, not the Gamecom, there's a little portable device called the 99X that had its own completely different version of Resident Evil 2 as well, and look that up because it's fascinating, and if I ever write about Resident Evil 2, if I ever finish that game, I'll have to mention that in it, and I gotta find out where I can get my hands on one of those little things, but someone mentioned it to me on Twitter the other day, and it blew my mind because I had no idea about it. That's a bit of a tangent. I hope you enjoyed. As I said, I'm going to repeat myself because I don't really have a script or anything. But I'll let you know if we have anything coming in the future. Maybe I won't spend an entire week hyping it up next time. Maybe just 1 or 2 days will probably be sufficient to get people knowledgeable about this when this goings and comings of the stream. So on that note, I'll catch you all later. I don't know how to close things. I'm not good at like saying goodbye just cleanly and just sort of cutting off the stream at a natural point. Also, let the song play out. This is Fumitaka Fuchigame. This is the original credits music to the original Resident Evil. It was a song that the director of the game and no one on the staff wanted on the game, but Capcom insisted on selling a single and having a hit single to pair along with Resident Evil, and this song is the result of that. It has nowhere, it does not belong anywhere in Resident Evil. It does not fit it tonally at all, but you know what? Resident Evil is nothing if not goofy. And I think it's just a little cherry on top of the sundae.